As I mentioned, today is an important session. Today, we will discuss enterprise structure, nothing but company structure. Enterprise structure. This is nothing but in a layman terminology. Enterprise structure is nothing but company structure. For a company, how many branches are there? It is in how many countries, and it is having how many types of different businesses. Suppose if you take Tata company, if you take Reliance company, okay, they're into different businesses. They're having many branches. They are doing operations in many countries. Okay, all those company entities has to be created in the application. The first entity is nothing but the headquarter of the company, which is called as an enterprise, And next entity is, this is headquarter. This is headquarter of the company. And next is division. The company may be having how many divisions? So these divisions could be based on the line of business, or it could be based on the geography also. Nothing but it could be based on the region as well. Okay, the headquarter, an example is Oracle. Suppose if we take Oracle company, Oracle Corporation, Reliance Corporation, Tata. Okay. So company headquarter is always one. And coming to the divisions. The divisions can be created based on the line of business. Line of business in the sense, suppose if you take Oracle Corporation, Oracle Corporation is having Oracle University is one line of business, and Oracle Consulting is another line of business. Oracle University is nothing but you have taken course from me, right? Similarly, you can also take the course from Oracle also. Oracle is having a university, and Oracle is having a IT company also, consulting services also. Two line of businesses. Suppose if you take same example for Reliance, Reliance is into supermarkets, right? And Reliance is into what else?
Oil and gas.
What not actually? Okay, they're into what not business. They're everywhere. Okay, Reliance is into entertainment also. So this is nothing but line divisions. This is nothing but divisions, and these divisions can be created based on the region also. Can be created based on the region as well. The region in the sense Oracle, India, Oracle India, okay, or Oracle US. You can also create based on the region also, Oracle India and Oracle US, like that. Okay. Now the next entity is legal entity. Legal entity is nothing but a registered company. Suppose if you take Reliance example here, Reliance has to take one registration for supermarket and one registration for entertainment and one registration for oil and gas. So Reliance has operating in multiple businesses. So it has to take multiple
Rice basal.
Ram's iPhone. Team, if you're not muting yourself, you're disturbing everyone, not only me. You're disturbing the flow, you're disturbing the class. Connecting to the class late is a crime. And after connecting late to the classes, you are disturbing the students and me. Morning, you are doing these many crimes. Huh? So legal entity is nothing but it's a registered company. Suppose if you take my company, TechLeads IT, we are into trainings and we have a registration also. I've taken one registration. With that registration, can I do pharma business? Can I start petrol works? Can I start petrol works? Can I go into constructions?
No.
I need to take multiple registrations, nothing but multiple legal entities. Multiple legal entities has to be nothing but multiple registrations will be there. Multiple legal entities also has to be created. Okay. Suppose an example. If you take constructions and pharma. So in this case, how many registrations are required?
Two.
Two. That means how many legal entities?
Two.
Two legal entities. Okay. Suppose I'm operating in two countries. Okay. Let us take I'm operating in construction business I have in India and only in India. Okay. And in pharma, coming to pharma business, I have in India, I have in US. So how many registrations I should take? Three. Because if you have to do the business in other country, there also you have to register your company as per their company policies. Sorry, as per their territory policies, as per their government policies. Okay, understood the significance of legal entity. Next is ledger. Ledger is your basic ledger is your finance book. Your finance book, all the finance transactions, it goes to ledger. All the financial transactions related to the company. You are receiving anything from your customer, or you are paying to supplier, you are paying salaries, you are paying rent, current bill, and office rent. Okay, anything, any financial transaction that you are doing, that goes to which book? Ledger book. So I have business of construction and then pharma, and I'm into multiple countries. Can I have just only one book?
No.
Can I have just only one book? No, right?
Yes.
I should not. Because if I have one book, how I can identify which company is doing good and which company is doing bad? How I can identify the balance sheet of the company or profit and loss of the company? So we need to have separate books. So here in this case, do you think how many books are required? How many ledgers are required, do you think?
Three.
So for India, constructions, one book. Okay. For pharma, India, one book. For pharma, US, another book. Totally, how many books are required? Three books are required. Okay. Freshers, beginners, you're good so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So totally here, three books are required. Suppose if I have only one book, I mean, you have to always think in a business way. Suppose if you're an entrepreneur, all of you have to think in a business way. Suppose if you're an entrepreneur, you're having a company, you are doing a business, then can you mix up all this into one book? Just one book? Because if you mix up all into one book, you don't have a visibility of what your construction company is doing in India and how pharma business is happening in India and US. You don't have visibility because from your ledger book, you'll be checking your profit and loss. and you are also preparing the balance sheet also of that company. Okay. So here in this case, we need to have 3 separate books. That is nothing but the ledger book. So in real time, the enterprise and divisions in real time, these two are taken care by HCM. HCM consultants, they create and they support these two entities in real time. And coming to legal entity and ledger, this is finance. The finance consultants are going to create legal entity and ledgers, they support. Okay. And coming to SCM, okay, we are coming into our area, SCM. Coming to SCM, first entity is business unit. Business unit. Team, hope you are able to follow me, right? For every technical word, I am giving a layman word also. Okay. What is meant by ledger book? It's a finance book. What is meant by legal entity? It's a registered company. Okay. What is meant by enterprise? It's a headquarter. Okay. So this is technical terminology, Oracle terminology. I am giving the normal layman words also, layman examples also. Coming to the business unit, you can call it as a business unit as a regional headquarter. You can call it as a regional headquarter. Okay. Or country headquarter. Country headquarter also. An example I'll tell you. Better let it call it as a regional headquarter only. So coming to BU, so here construction company and pharma company. Okay, so here I create a India constructions BU and for India or maybe India pharma BU. Okay, and US pharma BU. So at the BU level, at the business unit level, we capture a couple of transactions. Transaction in the sense, an example, sales order. So if I receive a sales order, that sales order could be related to India company, and that too related to construction. The order may be related to construction, or maybe the sales order may be related to India pharma BU, or the sales order may be related to pharma BU. Okay. So at the business unit level, we create sales orders, not only sales orders, at the BU level, we create purchase orders also. Okay. And we create invoices, and we make the payment to our suppliers, and we receive the payment from our customers. So all these transactions happens at the business unit level. So generally the business unit is created one for one country and one for one line of business. One for one line of business. What I'm trying to say is, suppose if I'm having only one line of business, that is constructions. Suppose if I'm operating in 2 countries, in that case, how many BUs I need? If I'm operating in 2 countries, how many BUs I need? I need 2 BUs.
2 BU.
Suppose if I take an example of this, India constructions BU, US construction BU. Okay. So for every country, 1 BU we create. Not only for every country, for every line of business also 1 BU we create. So see here, India construction BU and US construction BU. And if you want, you can create like this also, like you're into pharma also, India pharma BU and US pharma BU. Business unit, one for every
One
one
line.
country, 1 BU. For every line of business, 1 BU.
Have 1.
Okay. So far good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is in case of EBS, this is called as an operating unit. In case of EBS. Okay. So this is whose part? This is SCM part. So SCM consultants has to create business units, has to maintain support the business units. Next entity is item master org. Item master org. Okay, so here all the company products. So if you take TechLeads ID, what are my products? My products are nothing but my courses: supply chain, financials, human capital management, technical course. I'm offering all these courses to my customers. So you are my customer and I'm your supplier, and I have sold which product to you? I have sold supply chain product to you. Okay, so all the company products has to be created here. All the company products has to be created in the master organization. Okay, after that, suppose an example, if you take my course itself, SCM course. Let me give you one more example. Inventory organization. Okay, next entity is inventory organization. So inventory organization is nothing but the branch. It is nothing but branch. In my terminology, I call it as an institute. I call it as an institute. I have an institute in Hyderabad. I have institute in Hyderabad. Maybe you can call it as a branch or inventory organization. I have an institute in Bangalore also. I have institute in Chennai. I have institute in Delhi. So the Oracle terminology is inventory organization, but business terminology is according to the business. Because I'm into trainings, I'm calling it as the institute. Okay. How many institutes I have? Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai, Delhi. 4 institutes I have. 4 institutes I have. Suppose if it is a classroom training, you have to visit one of these institute, right? You have to come to one of this institute, right?
Yes.
So that means the service shipping is happening from that particular institute. That particular institute, the service is happening. And here in these branches, so here in Hyderabad, I'm offering SCM course. And in Bangalore also, I'm offering SCM course. In Chennai also, I'm offering. Chennai, I'm not offering. And in Delhi, I'm offering. And suppose if I have one more also like Pune, I'm offering here also. So totally in how many locations I'm offering this course? In 4 locations I'm offering. Okay, I'm not offering here. So here we have to create the same item in multiple places. Same item we are creating in multiple places. So this is duplication. This is duplication, right? As per database normalization rules, database duplication is not allowed. So that's where Oracle has introduced a concept called item master organization. Item master organization. So what we can do is we can create all our items in the master organization only once. I'm creating SCM product here. Only once I'm creating, and I'm not defining here. I'm not defining. I will just say, if I'm offering here, I will say, yes, I'm offering. Nothing but I will assign the same product to Hyderabad or, and I will assign the same product to Bangalore or. If I'm not offering in Chennai, no, and S, and S. I'm not defining. I'm defining only once in the master organization, and the same product I'm assigning to the required inventory organizations. So this is how we can assign, we can avoid the duplication. Data redundancy we can avoid. So this item must, so these institutes are physical locations. They physically exist. What about this item master organization? They physically exist. They exist in the world? No. They exist only in the system. That's what's called as a logical OR. That's what's called as a logical OR. What is the purpose of this logical OR? To avoid the data duplication and redundancy. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Yes. Sir, item master organization is company specific or it's a general thing for every branch?
It's coming to this master organization, it's your wish. Suppose here we are into 2 different businesses completely, constructions and pharma. You can have two master organizations.
Okay, sir.
Suggestible to have two master organizations, one for the constructions and one for the pharma, not for country.
Okay.
Not for country. I'm talking about line of business. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Suppose your construction company is into many countries. Okay. You better to have only one master organization for the construction and one master organization for the pharma business, because these products and these products are completely different. That's why you better to maintain separate master organizations for separate line of businesses.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Suppose you are just into constructions, you're not into pharma. Let us take you're not into pharma. Then only one master organization is enough. Suppose your construction is in India, US, UK, how many countries it would be? One master organization is okay.
In the construction company, I may have any branches.
Any countries, whatever. I'm trying to say is for every line of business, one master organization is okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Not for country. Okay. We can create more than one master organization, and suggestible is you create more than one master organization when you're having more than one line of business. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So item master organization is a physical entity? No. So these are all physical entities. I have branches here. Physically, they located. But my master organization is not a physical entity. It's a logical entity. Why we have this logical entity? Because we create all our products here and we'll assign all those products to the required branches, nothing but required inventory organizations. Okay. My customer can order the product from this location or this location, but my customer cannot take the product from this location because we are not offering this product here. Correct? No, we are not offering here. Now coming to the next entity is sub-inventory. Sub-inventory is nothing but warehouse. Sub-inventory is Oracle terminology and warehouse is a business terminology. So what is meant by warehouse? Warehouse is the place we store the warehouse is the place we store the stock. Correct? We store the stock in the warehouse. So in Hyderabad, I may be having multiple warehouses. In Bangalore also, I may be having multiple warehouses. Okay. Suppose in Hyderabad, I have a warehouse in Amirpet. Okay. I have a warehouse in Gachibowli. I have a warehouse in High Tech City, or I have a warehouse in Miapur. I have warehouses. In Hyderabad, how many warehouses I have? How many sub-inventories I have? 3 sub-inventories. Okay. But in real time, you can create a warehouse with the place name, or you can create warehouse with the type of the product that you are storing. RM, nothing but raw material warehouse. FG, finished good warehouse. SFG, semi-finished good. Semi-finished good. Okay. Or scrap warehouse. Okay. 98% of the clients are following. 98% of the clients are following this type of terminology to create the sub-inventories. Okay. Just 2% of the clients, they use the sub-inventory names or they create sub-inventory names with the place names. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
So
What is
Krishna,
meant by-
that means this inventory organization, Hyderabad, Bangalore are also logical ones, right?
How you're saying it's a logical one?
Because Hyderabad is a place, but when you are doing the live transactions, you are doing it from the particular place, right? Again, in Hyderabad, we have to go and store the items or whatever is in a particular place.
Okay.
So in this example, if you say Gachibowli is a place where I go and
So
store my
basically,
item.
I take the order to Hyderabad. Okay.
No.
So I may ship from any of my warehouse. The product I may ship from any of my warehouse. Okay. I'm taking the order to Hyderabad branch. I can ship the product from any of my warehouse. Okay, it is not relevant to the customer. Okay, they won't see from which warehouse we are delivering the product to the customer. Okay, they just see from to which location, which branch they have ordered. That's it. Okay, it's not a logical location, it's a physical one. Locators. Next step is, next entity is locators. Locators is suppose if you take not the SCM, suppose let's take a product called a laptop. A product called a laptop. So this laptop we are offering in Hyderabad, and we are also offering in Pune also. We are also offering in Pune. 2 locations we are offering, we are selling the Dell laptop. Okay. You can order to my Hyderabad branch or you can order to my Pune branch. So I deliver it. Suppose, so this laptop, that means I'm maintaining this laptop stock in the warehouse, right? I'm maintaining this laptop stock in the warehouse. So in this warehouse, suppose this is a location. Let me tell you. This is a good example. I'll show you one of these. You know, cold storage building, right?
Yes.
Cold storage building. Okay, see, this much big is the warehouse. How you are able to identify a product is stored in a particular location? How you are able to identify? In locations. Okay. So it's because of the locators. Locators are nothing but exact location of the product stock. Exact location of the product stock. Locators are nothing but in a particular warehouse. In a particular warehouse. So the locators are used to identify exact location of the product stock. One more better example is, suppose if you go to any medical shop, if you go to any medical shop, let's take MedPlus or Apollo Pharmacy, when you ask for a medicine, they check in the system for 2 reasons. One is the stock is available for that medicine or not. If it is available, the product is stored under which box. Suppose I'm a new employee, I joined today. I can also easily work, right? If you ask me some medicine, I check in the system. In the system, I can see exact place where that medicine is stored. I go to that particular rack and I just pick up that particular box, right? I pick up that box and I can give that medicine to you. Okay. And also one more example is a library. In case of library also, librarian is placing the items in exact place, like newspapers at one place and all the novels at another place, crime stories at the other place. Okay. So it's easy to identify the exact location in the warehouse. And with the cold storage example also, suppose I am a farmer. Okay, I would like to store my my product in the cold storage. Suppose if I visit cold storage, what they do, they allocate me a location. So maybe if I come back to that cold storage after 2 years also, they can give my product to me because they're going to maintain the details in which floor, in which room, exactly where my stock is stored. They maintain that location. If I come back after 2 years and 3 years also, they can give the product to me. Clear? An example of cold storage is in which floor that is stored. Okay. And what is the room number, or what is the rack number, or what is the box number? All these are the examples for the locator. And coming to the locator, it is a warehouse can be a locator control or it cannot be. It's up to your wish. Suppose RM warehouse, you want to maintain locators for the RM warehouse, you can maintain, otherwise not required. If you want, you can maintain locators for the FG warehouse. It's optional, I mean to say. A warehouse can be locator control or it can be optional. Okay. So from the business unit till the locators, who's the responsibility? Supply chain consultant responsibility. So we have to configure it and we have to support these entities in the real time. And ledger and legal entity, it's a finance. It's a finance. Enterprise and divisions, it's a HR. HR, human resource consultant, HCM consultant, human capital management consultant. Human capital management consultant. Okay. So in case of EBS, this you can call it as a multi-org structure. You can call it as a multi-org structure. In Fusion, this is called as a enterprise structure. So I'll give you the differences between Fusion to the EBS. So this differences to the consultants who are already working on EBS, others can ignore this difference. So if you see the difference in the first entity, do you see difference in the first entity, right?
Yeah.
And business group, it's called as a business group here, and here it is called as an enterprise. Sir, what is the difference between both of them? Both are headquarters only. Both are company headquarters only. But in case of EBS, you can create multiple business groups. But in Fusion, you are allowed to create only one enterprise. You are allowed to create only one enterprise, only one headquarter. Here you can create multiple headquarters. And coming to the divisions. So the company is into how many line of businesses? Suppose if you take Tata, Reliance, they're into multiple line of businesses. Okay. So we can create all those line of businesses in the application. That is division. There is no equivalent setup in EBS for this. And ledger and legal entity, same, no change. When you compare with Fusion to EBS, ledger and legal entity, same. And here, operating unit got replaced with the business unit. Operating unit got replaced with the business unit. So because of that, a lot of improvement has been introduced here. I will explain you that improvement and then best features in next few minutes. And then this business unit terminology has taken from the PeopleSoft ERP application, PeopleSoft. I told you in the demo class, if you remember, Fusion is a hybrid ERP application. When I say hybrid, the best functionalities has been extracted from different ERP applications, nothing but PeopleSoft is a ERP, Oracle EBS is also an ERP, JD Edwards, there are different ERPs are there. From all those ERPs, Oracle has extracted best functionalities and it has built the Fusion product. That's why I call it as a Fusion as a hybrid product. And this business unit terminology has been taken from the PeopleSoft. Okay. And remaining entities are same, inventory or master ordination, inventory ordination, sub-inventories locators, they're all same. No change when you compare with the EBS. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, then I'll move to the business unit topic explanation. And after that, I'll explain you the reference data set. Beginners and freshers, if you don't understand anything out of these entities, let me know, I'll repeat. If you're not clear with all these entities we create in the application and we use in the application. Okay, when we create and when we use in the application, you will get 200% clarity. During the application, I mean to say during a theory explanation, you may get 90% or maybe 80% clarity. But once we start using all these entities, you'll get 100% clarity.
Hi Krishna, I have a doubt. So this structure is ended with the locators, right? Like finished goods only, or the cycle is created to the again supermarkets, the goods are which are storage. Again, it is send it to the final goods, send it to the supermarkets and to sell the products, right? So it is entered with the final storage only.
Yeah, locator again, yes. The sub-inventory can be divided into multiple locators. Okay, and again, you store the stock in the locators. Yes.
Okay.
Sir, explain once again sub-inventory.
Simply warehouse, madam. That's it. Warehouse, where you maintain the stock. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Where you maintain the stock. Okay. You may maintain the finished good warehouse or all the finished good stocks. You maintain here all raw material. You know difference between raw material and finished good, right? You know difference between raw material and finished good, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we have a separate warehouse also called scrap. So any scrap, any material that got damaged, we keep it into the scrap warehouse.
Sir, one branch may have number of warehouses, right?
Yeah, here coming to Hyderabad, it is having 3 warehouses. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Minimum 1 warehouse is required. Minimum warehouse is required, but you can create as many as you want. Okay. So I start creating it in the application, and if you are
Sir,
having
once we
still
get the business
small,
unit.
that's okay. I mean, if I start creating and using it, you are able to get full clarity. This as of now, this much understanding is okay, what I believe, because if we get too much into that, then you get into more confusions also. Okay, that is enough, I believe. Now I'm coming to the business and explanation only. Business and explanation, I'm coming to that. So in case of EBS, it's called as an operating unit, right? And in Fusion, it's called as a business unit. Okay. It's called as a business unit. So because of the business unit concept, we can achieve different procurement models. One is centralized. I will share this document with all of you too. I'll share this document, the running notes with all of you. I'll put it in the drive. Okay, you can download it from there. Yesterday I forgot to put it in the drive. Today I'll put it in the drive before I close this class. Centralized, decentralized, global procurement. Centralized procurement, decentralized procurement, and then global procurement. So these 3 procurement models we can achieve. We can achieve. What is meant by centralized procurement? Centralized procurement, what is meant by that? You have a business unit in India BU. Okay. And I'm talking about centralized procurement now. Okay, let me put a heading here. I'm talking about centralized procurement. You have US BU and you have India BU and Singapore BU and then China BU. Okay. All these BUs, if they want anything, if they want to purchase something, they have to rely on US only. All the purchases should happen from US only. Okay. This is called as centralized procurement. This is called as centralized procurement because India cannot buy anything and Singapore also cannot buy anything. China also cannot buy anything. And all these BUs, not only these 3 BUs, if you are having one more BU also, like Australia BU, okay. Whatever the BU that you are having, whatever the BUs that you are having, all these BUs are purchasing asking for the stock to procure from the US only. This is called as a centralized procurement. So when you're defining the business unit, there is some function called purchasing. There is some function called procurement. Let me put procurement. If you select this to S, only that BU can place a purchase order. Only that BU can place a purchase order. And for all these other BUs, we can set it to no. That means we are disabling which function to these BUs? We are disabling which function to these BUs? Procurement function we are disabling. That means they are not able to place a purchase order. They has to request US. US is going to place a purchase order. This kind of model is called as centralized procurement model. Okay. Sir, what is the advantage of the centralized procurement model? What are the advantages? Control. First thing is control. Next thing is you can betterly negotiate with your supplier. Betterly. Okay. Suppose if you take an example of laptop, for India, you want 100 laptop. For Singapore, you want 50. For China, you want 100. And for Australia, you want 50. Totally, how many laptops you want? How many laptops total you want? 300.
300.
So you are placing one purchase order for the 300. Okay, that means you are placing a PO for more quantity. Suppose if you individually buy, you are buying the less quantity here. So 50 quantity supplier may give, may be giving, in case of 300 quantity, the supplier may give good price because you are purchasing in bulk. So because of this centralized procurement, first thing is control, controllability, and second thing is you can betterly negotiate with your supplier. Okay.
Sir,
And also,
sir, my name is Ram. I have one question here. So let's say, as you say that procurement, yes, or USBU, but in normal business, what happens is there are few items which are centrally procured, and there are few items, maybe C-class items, those are decentralized.
I'll come to that, sir. I'll come to that model. Okay. So that's called as a global procurement. Okay. So once I'm done with this explanation, the complete all the models, then you'll get the clarity. So in case of decentralized, every BU has the, all are equal. In case of decentralized, all are equal. Every BU can purchase the stock for themselves. All are equal. Okay. This is decentralized. Clear? Decentralized? Clear, team?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
All BUs are equal. All BUs are having which function? Procurement function. Okay. All BUs are having procurement function. Next, coming to the global procurement. What is meant by global? It's up to see. It's up to the client requirement. The client can go for the centralized procurement or client can go for the decentralized procurement. It's up to the client requirement and how they want to operate their business. Okay. But 98% of the clients are using decentralized. 98% of the clients are using decentralized. Centralized procurement, just 2% only. Okay. On the percentage wise, 2% of the clients are using centralized procurement and 98% are let's take 97% decentralized. 97%. Because 1% I want to give it to global procurement. 1%. So what is meant by global procurement? I personally named it as a conditional based procurement. Conditional based procurement. I call it as a conditional based procurement because I write the conditions. According to the conditions, the system is going to work. What are the conditions? Suppose if it is electronics, suppose you are trying to procure electronics, it has to be procured from the China only. It has to be procured from the China only. Okay. That means all these BUs, suppose India, if it wants any electronic product, it has to procure from whom? China only. Singapore also China only. Australia also China only. Only for this specific category. Only for this specific category. Okay. And Suppose if I take any other category example, let's take a clothing. Okay, it has to procure from India only. See, I'm writing the conditions. This is called as a conditional based procurement. I named it as a condition, but Oracle name is global procurement. In case of clothing, here I'm writing a rule saying that it has to be procured from India only. That means if anything related to clothing category of items, the Singapore has to procure from whom? Singapore has to procure
India,
from
BU.
whom? India.
India.
China also has to
India.
procure from India. Australia also has to procure from India. Other than electronics and clothing, the remaining categories, they can buy from themselves. So only for these two categories, they should go for these respective BUs. Remaining category of items, they can buy on their own. That means here, all these BUs are having procurement business function or not? All these BUs are
Yes.
having procurement business function or not?
Yes, yes, they have.
They have. Okay. Other than, suppose, let us take Australia. If it is electronic, Australia has to buy from China. If it is clothing, Australia has to buy from India. Other than these two remaining categories, Australia can buy on their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is one type of conditions based on the category. Not only based on the category, you can also write condition based on the amount also. So this condition we have written based on the category. Based on the category, we have written the conditions. Not only based on the category, you can also written conditions based on the amount also. The amount that you are procuring. The amount that you are procuring. If the amount that you are procuring is more than 100 USD, if it is more than 100 USD, always it has to procure from USBU only. That means any BU is trying to procure more than 100 USD, greater than 100 USD. What is the BU here? USBU.
Yes. Yes.
So this is one more condition. So you can write conditions based on the category. You can write conditions based on the amount. Like this, 6 to 7 conditions provided by Oracle. By configuring those 6 to 7 conditions, we can identify the procurement BU here. So in case of the amount greater than 100 USD, what is the procurement BU here? USBU is the procurement BU. That means based on these conditions, we are identifying the procurement BU. Okay. So these three models.
Sir, one question. Can a particular super user or a power user override these conditions and still buy from the child BU?
No. No, because it's a configuration. Based on the configuration, system will work. A user cannot have access to the configuration. Only we have access. IT team is having the access.
Okay.
We should not give the access to the users also, right?
Okay. Let me
if you ask
modify
me,
my question.
If you ask me under view also, it's not possible.
Okay. Let me modify my question a little bit. Let's say I am the CEO of the company of India BU. Okay. So if that user has, based on the time sensitivity, let's say a particular item, I need it ASAP, and I cannot rely on for the global for the any top organization procurement. I want to place an order from my BU. Whether he'll be able to do it?
No.
No.
You have to go with the system. You have to go with the process. Okay. So it depends upon the situations. If you're deviating the process, that's not right. Then why you're maintaining a system? So CUA says some urgency, some other guy says some other urgency. They give some other justification. Then what's the point of maintaining the system? In the system, you have to go with the system only. You have to go with the process only. Offline, whatever you want to do, you can do it, and you can mimic that in the system. In any other way. Okay.
Well, so is there any configuration by which a user can be powered
No,
to override?
no. Users won't have access to, because the moment, suppose let us take example, you are a user, you are updating the configuration, but at that time maybe some other person can do parallelly and the transaction, right? Let us take, you have access, you are updating, you think that only your transaction will go through in that window, but maybe some other transaction also will go through in that window, right? The first thing is users won't have access to the setup. First thing is. The second thing is, if they have access also, when there are many users are there globally, they may also do the transaction. The time that you modify the setup, other transaction also may go with that setup, right? Parallelly.
I understand. What I'm asking is a particular user can be configured so that based on the time sensitivity, he can.
Sir, whatever, sir, whatever reason, time sensitive or whatever reasons, whatever the justification it can be, okay? So it cannot be changed for one particular transaction. Configuration cannot be changed for one particular transaction, only for one particular reason. It should not be changed. It's not the process.
Okay.
It's not the process.
Okay,
We can give, the second question is, if you want to provide access to user setup access, we can provide it. The two questions I understood from your single question. One is user is able to get the access to the setup. Yes, we can provide. But only for one particular transaction, modifying the configuration, modifying the controls is not the best practice, is not the best approach. If that is the case, build your own ERP. Oracle ERP is a global ERP which has some standards, and these standards, and also you have audit also. You have auditor also, because auditor is going to verify whether you are following the standards of the company or not. Especially in other countries, the standards is very, very much important. The policies are important. Otherwise, you'll get questioned by the auditors. You'll get into a lot of troubles. Maybe your license also may get cancelled, your business license also.
Yeah, sir, I understand your explanation because I am a certified ISO auditor, external auditor.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
So these three business models are clear, right? Centralized, decentralized, global procurement. A question to all of you. In case of centralized procurement, how many views are having the procurement business function? How many views are having the procurement business function?
Only one.
Only one. Only one BU has the procurement function. Only one BU. And in case of decentralized?
All of them.
All of them.
In case of global procurement?
On conditional basis.
All the views.
All actually, but if the conditions, if you create a conditions, according to the conditions, it will pick up the procurement BU.
Yeah.
Because electronics and clothing, these two conditions, you are saying that procurement BU. But other than electronics and categories, they should order by themselves. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll show you what are the setups related to these procurement models in the coming classes. How to achieve all these three, because I worked on all these three. I worked on all these three projects. I'll show you the configurations. But in our classes, I'll follow this one, decentralized, because 97% of the clients are using this one. That's why I'm gonna show you this one, but other two setups, I will explain you. Just setups, I will show you. Okay. Maybe for other two, I would say 4 to 5 setups are there, not more than that. Just 4 to 5 setups are there. It's also easy, not complicated setups. It's easy setups only. I'll show you them. Okay. Now, the last topic for today is reference data set. Reference data set. So this is also not available in EBS. This topic is not available in EBS. This concept is not available in EBS. Payment term. Payment term is very important for any business transaction. Okay. Suppose we're all in a business transaction, right? Because we are all in a, suppose for me, it's a sales order. For you, it's a purchase order, correct? Yes or no? For me, it's a sales order. Your order is a sales order. What is
Yes,
the
sir.
payment term? What is the payment term? I have given 3 days time, right? To make the payment, including demo class, day 1, day 2, 3 days time. I have given for the payment. So similarly, in a business transaction, in case of sales order or a purchase order, how much time that we are giving or how much time that we are taking from the supplier?
3 days.
Okay, so it could be the payment term can be immediately. Suppose let's take you're purchasing something from your supplier. You may make the payment immediately. And then 30 days, nothing about technically called as 13/8, or maybe 45 days, 45/8, 45/8 or 16/8. Like this, there are a lot of payment terms are there. Okay. So here, in case of EBS, we have operating unit concept, right? India operating unit, US operating unit, right? We have operating unit concept. So you have to repeat all these configurations in every operating unit, yes or no? Yes or no? You have to create here, you have to create here, you have to create here. I'm talking about one particular setup, that is payment term. The same payment term you are creating everywhere. This is EBS case. In case of Oracle EBS, you are creating like this. Yes or no? Everybody's agree with me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So to avoid this, again, it's a redundancy, right? Again, it's a redundancy. Again, it's a duplication. To avoid this in Fusion, in Oracle Fusion ERP, Oracle has introduced a concept called a reference data set. A reference data set. Okay. And the reference data set name I'm giving is as name. This is just a name. You can put any name for the reference data set. I'm naming it as common. What I do is I'm going to create all my payment terms. All my payment terms I link to the common reference data set. Understood? Understood, right? What I've done, I have created the payment terms. I assigned the payment terms to this reference data set. This reference data set I have assigned to the views. That means all these views are able to access all these payment terms. Suppose you created COD payment term, cash on delivery. So this cash on delivery can be used by all these views, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So in case in future, suppose you started operations in another country also. You start operations in another country also. You start operations here. It's very simple. Just assign this reference data set to that particular BU, and all the payment terms are automatically used there also. That means in case of Oracle Fusion, rollout project. What is meant by rollout project? Rollout project is nothing but when any new entity Suppose this country is a new country, which client started operations in that country. We need to implement for that country also. It's a rollout. Already we have implemented for these countries. Now we have to implement for this country. It's a rollout, right? In case of rollout, because of this reference data set concept, it is easy. If you don't have a reference data set concept, you have to create all of them here again. Suppose if it is just 10 only. If it is 100, if it is 100 payment terms, not only this setup, like that, there are 30 setups are there. All the 30 setups you have to manually create here, right? To avoid that, just simply select the reference data set. That's it. Clear?
Sir, one question.
I'll take your question,
yes,
sir. I'm not done with my explanation because the question that you're about to ask could be my next explanation. Please wait. I'll take questions. I'm not done with my explanation. So far, good or not? Clear or not? So far.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, other scenario is, next I'll come to other scenario. Suppose for Singapore, okay, let's keep it this way. The other scenario is, this is another scenario. I'm talking about another scenario. In case of this, for Singapore, I don't want these payment term. Okay, I want separate payment term. So you can also do that. You create separate reference data set called Singapore reference data set. Under that, you only create whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want in the sense here 10 net. Okay, and then 15 net. These two payment terms I created 10 days, 15 days. These two only you can assign to Singapore. So if you want, you can have exclusive separate also for that country. Okay. Right now, these two payment terms are assigned to which reference data set?
SG, Singapore.
SG. Okay. That means this is able to access only by which country?
Singapore.
Singapore. That means these two payment terms can be used in Singapore sales orders and Singapore purchase orders. Correct? Now, the third scenario. Okay. This 15 net also, I want it to be used by these BUs. Is it possible? Yes.
Yes, by making it common.
So this particular payment term, you just assign to common. Just assign it to common. Only this payment term. What I've done, I have assigned this payment term to common reference data set so that this 15 net can be accessible by all these BUs. Suppose cash on delivery. Cash on delivery, you want this to be accessed by Singapore BU. Just cash on delivery, you assign to the Singapore reference data set. That means the Singapore BU right now is going to access how many payment terms?
2.
Sir, what about this? These two, and then this one also, right? Right?
It should be 3, right? 10,
Yeah,
15,
it's a 3. It's a 3. Not only these two, it can be accessed by this payment term also, COD, because the COD we assign to which reference data set? Singapore. Please put all your focus here. 200% focus is required just for 60 minutes class.
Krishna, can we inherit the entire
60 minutes of concentration is not possible to all of you. I'm not taking 2-hour session. Just question yourself, question your brain, question your concentration. 60 minutes. In this 60 minutes itself, deviations.
I have a question. The reference sets are only 2, right? Common and Singapore reference set.
I mean, you can create how many, whatever you want.
No.
Okay.
I said 2. I thought, the only 2 reference sets are available. So I said 2. Common and Singapore. So in
Okay.
that way, I said 2.
Okay, here we created 2. So as per this example, it is 2. Okay, what's your question?
Krishna, can we inherit the entire reference data
Sir,
set?
1 second, sir. I'm not done with the question of that guy, whether he is clear or not. Okay, once I'm done with that guy, I'll come to you. Okay, please.
Sir, I said
D Sai
only.
Kiran. Okay.
I said only 2 reference sets. I thought common and Singapore reference set.
Okay, right.
But in that, there are 3. 10 net, 15 net, COD.
So these
Right?
3 are payment terms, sir. COD, 10 net, 15 net, they're payment terms.
Okay.
They're payment terms, sir. Okay. They are not reference data set. They're just payment terms only. Under Singapore reference data set, how many payment terms I created? 2 payment terms I created. Okay. So these 2 payment terms can be accessed by Singapore BU. Nothing but an example. Suppose if I'm creating a purchase order in Singapore BU, I'm creating a PO in Singapore BU purchase order. So I can select how many payment terms in my PO. 10 net. As per this, I changed the configuration now since you are confusing. How many?
2. 10 net, 15 net.
10 net, 15 net. Okay. So based on my discussion with the supplier has given me 15 days time. So in that PO, I will mention 15 net. Okay.
But the reference sets are on 2 only.
Suppose I would like to, for Singapore, I would like to use cash on delivery option also. This payment term. This payment term is already created, but it's not mapped to this reference data set. If you want, you can map. If you want, you can map. That means now Singapore reference data set is mapped to how many payment terms? These 2 and also this one. That means here in the PO, I can also select COD if I want.
Okay, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Okay. And I have assigned this payment term to Singapore. I can also assign this to remaining payment terms also if I want. I can assign to all of them also if I want. I think somebody is trying to ask that question.
So Krishna,
one payment term can be mapped to multiple reference data set. Good.
Can I ask?
that's for the same question. Like, I got it.
Okay.
Hello.
Good. I'm done with the topic explanation. I will take your questions one by one, please.
Krishna, Sridhar here. Actually, what I wanted to know is, can we inherit the entire reference set to another reference set? Like say, for example, I have common.
That's not possible. That's not possible. You have to assign. I got your question. You have to assign individually the payment term to that particular reference data set.
Okay, so for example, see for SGRDS, I have only 10 net and 15 net. This is a payment set. Now I want SGRDS to also have all the things that is in common. So I can't inherit common directly. I have to add all this.
Yes, against every payment term.
Yeah, we have to map it independently,
yes,
right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That's
Thanks.
right.
So, sir, can one BU can have more than one reference data set?
To answer this, I should open in the screen. Okay, that I'll explain you tomorrow.
Okay. Because
if I start explaining that, whatever the explanation that I've given so far, it's waste because more confusions get into the picture. I will explain that tomorrow.
I have a question, sir. I mean, if you don't mind, can you scroll up a little?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So you mentioned for global procurement, we have a different BUs, and you are given an example one. Only electronics can be procured from China. Okay.
Right.
So example, so definitely there will be different buyers for the different reasons. For India, there will be a buyer.
Yes, of course, different buyers would be there. Yeah.
But when a person from procurement buyer wants to procure electronics, so how do we know that can I buy or not the electronic? Will there be any condition in the system?
Actually, that guy need not to select the BU because since you have written the condition, it will automatically flow. Okay, you don't need to select based on the configuration. The system will identify the procurement BU. System will identify automatically.
Okay.
They don't manually select it. They don't need to know also. Okay.
Okay, but unknowingly, if the buyer is trying to procure electronics, so will there be any trigger for that particular buyer? This electronic has to be procured from China itself. Is that something?
Yeah, we actually educate. See the setups we create based on the client knowledge only. Okay. So whatever client currently operating, accordingly we define that in the system. So the client or business users already aware that they are buying the electronic products from the China BU. So since we written the condition here, the moment that they order for the electronic product, system will automatically pick up the China BU. They don't need to select which BU is that, but they can see which BU is automatically selected by the system there. Understood?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we can configure it to have more than one BU for electronics also, correct?
Then which BU you want the system to pick up?
Oh,
You
will that
configure
be-
to, you
Let's
configure
say, for
to,
example, if I say electronics can be from Singapore or China. So if I say
or
electronics,
means in which cases?
no, if I want to buy electronics, I can buy it either from China or Singapore. If that's the case, use case, how do we go?
Not possible. Possibility is not there if that is the case. Either or is not possible. Not possible.
That's a practical scenario, right? So anyhow, when we actually do the thing,
If that is the case, then don't go with the global procurement. You go with the decentralized, and according to your situation, you select whatever that you want. Go with the decentralized.
Oh,
When it's-
decentralized has an option for multiple view selection.
Yeah, anything.
Oh.
Multiple view selection in the sense.
No, the situation is that
I understood your
one or-
situation.
Yeah.
I understood your question.
Again, based on the condition, can't we choose between those two?
No, madam, it's not like that because based on the condition, system will automatically pick up the procurement BU. So if the condition is satisfied, it will pick up the procurement BU automatically. We don't have an option to choose either one. Because if I show you that screen and if I explain that screen, then you'll get all the clarity.
Yeah, maybe when we do it practically, we'll see how.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I'm trying to think. Okay, I will upload this document to the drive. I don't put it in any. I'll put it in the main folder itself. You can download it from there. So daily running notes I'll upload into the drive. Okay, I'll just place it here. I'm not keeping under any subfolder. I'll just paste in the main drive. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Beginners and freshers, I request you to watch the video again. Okay. I request you to watch the video again, please. I have uploaded. It's available in the bottom of the drive. Please check it. Okay. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.